Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Hogwarts Legacy. We are going back to Upper Hogsfield. That's what we're doing.
Upper Hogsfield. Now, where to find Mrs. Sprottle? Seems a pleasant enough little place. Nice to see you again, Mrs. Sprottle. Actually, Sirona Ryan asked if I'd come and see you.
Oh, dear Sirona, a gem. Has been for as long as I've known her.
She thought you might need help collecting ingredients for your Wiggenweld potion.
And she's correct. My darling Aidan used to collect Horklumps for me. Since he died, my supply has dwindled.
I'm sorry for your loss, Mrs. Sprottle.
Oh, thank you. Love of my life. A bit lost without him. If you wouldn't mind gathering some Horklumps for me, I'd be happy to compensate you for your time.
Yes, believe it or not, I have some with me. You're welcome to take all of it.
Believe it or not, I have some with me.
Oh, thank you. How wonderful. The travelling vendors will be thrilled to replenish their stock of Wiggenweld potion.
Sirona also mentioned that Mr. Sprottle was bringing her a box of letters when he fell ill.
Indeed he was. I'd almost forgotten. I stumbled upon it just before Aidan died. He was hoping to go through it with Sirona over a butterbeer or two. Those two were always like two bowtruckles in a branch. Aidan took ill when he was collecting Horklumps on his way to see her. He made it home, but I fear he dropped the box in the cavern. The cavern is in the hills just southwest of our hamlet. You can gather Horklumps and collect the box of letters there.
Okay. What was Sirona like when she was my age?
Sirona said she lived with you during the summers when she was at Hogwarts. What was she like?
Oh, goodness. Well, she was almost exactly like she is now. Charming, good head on her shoulders, taking care of everyone. I can't tell you the fun we had when she and her friends would visit us during the year, all buzzing about, practicing charms. Talented group. Her friend Mirabelle was a genius in the garden. Learned it all from her muggle parents, if you can believe it.
Okay. And what was in the box of letters?
Do you remember anything about the letters you put in the box?
Oh, of course. A few letters from some of her school friends. Some nice memories. I even included a letter Sirona had written to me when she was staying with us. Thought she might enjoy reading it. I know when I read writing from my youth, I'm always astonished at how much I've changed, and yet remain the same.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Sprottle.
Thank you. I'll be here if you are able to collect those Horklumps. I, and the vendors I help, would greatly appreciate it.
Revelio.
Ooh. Am I able to? Yes, I am.
More.
Excellent.
Mine now, demiguise.
No, that's not what I wanted, but
Revelio.
ooh. Okay. And then there's this one.
Alohomora.
There's a bowl in this house. Excuse me. Do you know there's a bowl in this house? What are they doing keeping a bowl in this house? Are you lost? Okay. It's a weird town. Yep. Dog bug warning. Warning, dog bug sighting. Be careful. Oh, that's a waste of space. Anyway.
Revelio. Who lived here, I wonder? Oh. Hello. This must be the cavern Mrs. Sprottle mentioned. Revelio.
Oh.
I found a Dirical's den near one of the hamlets. Made some galleons off that little find.
This is utter nonsense. I've never heard such rubbish in all my life. I think I get more sense out of mooncalf dung.
Not especially quiet. Let's go!
That's cool. Ow. Oh.
You little cat!
Oh, hello.
Confringo. Revelio. Confringo. Revelio. Expelliarmus. Confringo.
Oh. Whoa!
The beasts around here can sleep a bit easier now. Revelio.
Note to self. Don't fight on the edge of a cliff. But this is what I wanted. Ancient magic focus. Excellent. Okay.
Gave the Horklumps to Mrs. Sprottle, but I still need to visit the cave to find Sirona's box of letters. Perhaps I'll find more Horklumps while I'm there. Better have a look around, see about the Horklumps and the box of letters. Confringo! That's all the Horklumps for now. Mrs. Sprottle should be pleased. Lumos. Confringo.
Ooh.
Revelio.
That would be really awesome. Mods for the PS5 of this, so I can take my friends with me.
Revelio. Confringo. Revelio.
Oh. Okay. Oh, wait.
Revelio.
Okay. Another collection chest down. Okay.
Either I'll have to fight that troll,
Oh,
or
lovely.
avoid it altogether.
You're too big. Of course you are. Alright, well. Gotta use these plants sometime. Might as well use them against trolls and other enemies.
That was a close one. Revelio.
So Dittany. What would be awesome as well if I could sell ingredients? Because it becomes a point
Lumos.
where you just have way too many potions and ingredients. So it would be nice if I could sell the potions and ingredients as well as any stock I get. That would be cool. And I'm thinking I've already said this. Forgive me, I don't have very good memory.
Revelio.
But that would be cool.
Revelio.
Hello, squirrels. That one just jumped off the bridge and straight into the water. Oh. Dear Sirona, when I arrived here, I had a troubling sense that in many ways I wasn't like the other first years. I confess I worried that Hogwarts might not have been the proper place for me, and pondered sending an owl to my parents, asking them to fetch me almost before the first week of classes had ended. How did you know? I presume you're not secretly a legilimens, but I wonder that you seem to know my thoughts better than I did myself. That day in the Three Broomsticks, when you spotted me huddled in a corner, staring blankly at an untouched butterbeer and an empty bit of parchment, my quill dripping ink woefully onto the floor, and you came to sit with me, well, I shall never forget it. I recall a sudden sense of relief, as if someone had cast a levitation charm on me, when you told me about how nervous you'd been when you'd come to Hogwarts. I looked at you, and it seemed beyond my imagination to think of you as anything but the confident, contented witch sitting before me. In the days that followed, I marveled at how you charmed, in the non-magical sense I mean, everyone around you, without apology, embracing who you were and who they were. It was as though a candle had flickered on for me. I realized that I could choose that path as well. Now that my school years are ending, the frightened first-year witch I had been seemed worlds away. And I know it's because of you saw yourself and that despairing creature in the corner of the pub, and so generously extended yourself to her. Yours sincerely, Maribel. P.S. Please tell Mrs. Sprottle that I still plan on visiting her and Mr. Sprottle whenever I can, for their delightful conversation, and I am unashamed to admit her incomparable cauldron cakes. Dear Sirona, I conjured this wee gift for you as a token of my gratitude. If you hadn't stood your ground on my behalf during Quidditch practice last week, I might have left the team altogether. And now we've won the Quidditch Cup. Ravenclaw House would not be the same without you. Yours sincerely, Sean. My dear Sirona, I've sent a note separately to Mr. and Mrs. Sprottle for their hospitality, but felt the need to put a quill to parchment with my thanks to you as well. What a lovely respite from the castle. I won't soon forget how we giggled about that ridiculous gnome. Did he truly believe he was singing? And Mrs. Sprottle's steak and kidney pie was simply glorious. I shall be dreaming of it for days. I so appreciate you including me. I fear I must warn you, however, that this does not mean I will go easy on you in next week's match. You know that Ravenclaw is no match at all for Slytherin this year. Most gratefully yours, Philomena? I have no idea.
This must be Sirona's box of letters.
Dear Sirona, happy birthday, my darling friend. I sneaked into the kitchens and asked Finky to make your favorite, cream crowdy. She was delighted to oblige. Not sure where she got raspberries at this time of year. Genius, that Finky. Bess.
I should take this box of
Dear
letters to
Mrs.
Sirona. She'll be glad to have it back.
Dear Mrs. Sprottle, Mother and Father were delighted to hear that you and I had spent the afternoon at Gladrags last Saturday. Truth be told, I think my mother was ever so slightly envious. I shan't forget how heartily we laughed at my efforts to lace the bodice of my new dress. A challenge indeed, as is the rather delicate practice of properly stitching a hat pin without wounding either my hat or my head. But I adore everything that we selected, and I have you to thank for now feeling like a marvelously fashionable witch. It was also a treat to dine at the Three Broomsticks without having to clear the tables. I shall own a place like that one day, mark my words. I consider myself more than lucky that you and Mr. Sprottle agreed to let me stay. I know that my parents feel precisely the same way. Yours gratefully, Sirona.
I think that's everything. Sirona will be glad to have this back. Revelio.
Oh, those are some interesting letters. We certainly learned more about Sirona.
Revelio. Revelio. Revelio.
Eh. I don't know where the ward is, so...
Revelio. Revelio.
Level 3 locks. Level 2s.
Chores aren't so bad. I don't mind the
Ask, I'm all out of the new socks, so if your feet are smelly, you'll have to work it out for yourself. I suspect you have a sharp eye for fashion. Be sure to stop by whenever you're about.
Revelio.
I'm hearing the annoying sound. Hello.
Hello, Sirona. I have good news. I was able to provide your friend Mrs. Sprottle with some Horklumps for her Wiggenweld potion, and I found your box of letters.
Oh, thank you. I knew you were the one to ask.
May I ask you about the letters in the box?
I wondered about some of the letters in the box.
Of course. It appears most of the letters were from fellow students.
Were you on the Quidditch team?
One of the letters mentioned Quidditch practice. Did you play?
I did. Was the Ravenclaw Seeker for 3 years. Oh, Merlin's beard. I adore Quidditch. Nothing like the feeling of catching the golden snitch when your team's down by 140 points. I'll never forgive Professor Black for cancelling it this year. I missed cheering for Ravenclaw.
I don't think anybody's going to forgive Professor Black for cancelling it this year. Is Mirabelle Professor Garlick?
I saw a letter from someone named Mirabelle. Is that Professor Garlick?
It is. Still one of my dearest friends. I know she wouldn't mind you having seen that letter. She and I are of a similar mind, especially when it comes to young people. We believe experience to be an invaluable teacher. To borrow a phrase from Mirabelle, it's a joy to see anyone blossom, but particularly one who doubted they ever would.
Okay. Are you and Mrs. Sprottle as close as you seem?
I spotted a letter from you to Mrs. Sprottle. You two seem to have a lot of fun together.
We do. She taught me so much during my summers with her and Aiden. I shall be the first to admit that adolescents aren't always the easiest to understand. And not everyone was as kind to me as the Sprottles. But the depth of their kindness, and that of so many of my friends, got me through... well, got me through some challenging times, to put it mildly.
Okay. Well, I was very happy to help.
I'm glad I could be of help. Mrs. Sprottle sends her best.
Don't know what I'd have done without her and Aiden. Thank you, again, for helping her, and for returning this box of letters. It's nice to reflect on good memories.
Revelio.
Alfred Lawley's none too pleased. Seems he's been burgled. I shall pretend I never heard the rumours of your involvement.
That would be much appreciated. Alright. Well, I suppose I suppose we should talk to Adelaide. But before I do that, I would like to... What's over here? Oh. Go to the room.
Dick thinks you should be proud of all the potions you've brewed.
Oh, something I can sell. Okay. Hello. Is there any other ones coming over here? Oh, you're not ready. Okay. They're all good to go. I don't know if any of you guys knew this, but I did learn something. Don't put hippogriffs and nifflers together. They don't like each other. Why don't I have any niffler fur? Oh, because I don't have any nifflers. I'm confusing my accounts. But yeah. They don't like each other, and neither do Neasels and, Diricals, which make total sense. Oh, there's no discovered traits for the second slot yet. Okay. It's a cat and a bird. It makes total sense. I knew that unicorns and, oh god. I am completely blanking. Oh, I need an easel. Okay. Thestrals. I knew unicorns and thestrals didn't like each other, but it was interesting to say the least to learn about the other different ones that can't get along, so. Well, I suppose we should go talk to Adelaide and learn the whereabouts of her uncle. Hello.
Adelaide Oaks, isn't it? I received your owl.
Yes, I'm Adelaide Oaks.
Oh dear. You see, my uncle Roland is a metal trader who's quite well known in the goblin community. He normally sends me owls every week when he's on his business travels. In his last owl, he alluded to dealings with those radical goblins, Ranrock's loyalists. It's been ages since that owl and I'm worried. What with the troll attack on Hogsmeade and the rumours that goblins may have been involved, well, I'm fearing the worst. Should I be worried about my uncle, or am I overthinking this?
I think you should be worried.
I think you're right to be concerned, Adelaide. Your uncle may be in trouble. You're much more understanding than Professor Weasley. She heard I was going to look for him and forbade me from leaving the grounds. She's convinced he can handle himself, but I can't concentrate on anything until I know he's all right. Could you try to find out for me? From what I hear, you're almost as adventurous as Uncle Roland.
Are you and your uncle close?
I take it you and your uncle are close. We are. My mother died when I was born, and I lost my father when I was 5. Uncle Roland's looked after me for as long as I can remember. He knows I get anxious when he travels, and that's why he sends me all the owls, to let me know that he's all right.
Well, can you tell me more about your uncle's business with the goblins?
Has your uncle traded with many goblins? Yes, for ages. Even speaks gobbledygook. But he only recently mentioned Ranrock's lot, insisting the galleons were worth the risk. He does it for me. Between robes and supplies, attending Hogwarts costs a fair sickle. And besides that, Uncle Roland has expensive taste. He's sacrificed so much for me over the years. I promised him that as soon as I finish Hogwarts, I shall be the one taking care of him.
Well, that's nice of you. It's not really your job, but it's nice of you. I'll see what I can learn.
I'll try and look into it for you, Adelaide. Thank you. He's very thorough in his record keeping. Notes all his trades in a journal, makes maps. In fact, in his last owl, he drew me a map of his next stop. He planned to set up camp north of here. I do hope you're able to find out where he is. Thank you again for any help you can provide. Oh, Uncle Roland, what have you got yourself into? Revelio. I think I'd have made an excellent keeper. I have a sharp eye. I hope Adelaide's Uncle Roland is all right. She seems very worried.
She does seem
Adelaide
very
mentioned
worried.
her uncle's camp may be near Brockborough, past the river.
I don't have one. Okay. Where am I heading? Eh. Yeah. Suppose we can get to the Forbidden Forest and start from there for the next episode.
Revelio.
I always pay a visit to Dogweed and Deathcap. Madam Green can be a little fiery sometimes.
There's no flying ones about. They're level 1. I'll do this. real quick.
Alohomora. Revelio.
Two and one. Gorgon portrait. An oil painting of a beautiful Gorgon and her suitor, whose eyes are wisely averted as he bends to kiss her hand. It is said that the artist who painted this accidentally gazed at his subject when he delivered the painting, and is now forever a sculpture in a garden in Greece. Oh, it's a painting of Medusa!
Finite!
Okay. Why there would be a picture of Medusa at Hogwarts, I have no idea, but I gotta get going. I'll have to come back for the butterfly thing.
There are a few students. I tried to send a note to someone I liked.
Revelio.
There's mud on my tights. Well, that's pretty cool. I mean, it sucks that my tights are dirty, but it's pretty cool that they added that feature. Okay.
Revelio.
So this is where we will start for the next episode. And next time we'll save Adelaide's uncle, or find out what he's been up to. Try and figure out where he went and stuff. Or if he just forgot to send an owl. I guess we'll find out next time. So, leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe if you haven't already, because there is more coming your way. And I'll see you guys next time.